Howdy folks, good day to you and welcome to the second channel. I'm kind of making this as like a bonus type of video. We're not going to get any repairs done on it today. It's kind of late in the day, but I wanted to go through some of the diag stuff. In part because I'm going to send this to the owner, that way they can see all the stuff that I diagnose, and I'm going to take you guys along with us. So we have a 2008 Chevrolet. Is this a Chevrolet or GMC? It might be GMC, let me check. Yeah, there we go. That's a GMC Sierra, same as the Silverado. It's 2500 HD. It's got a service bed on the back. Customer states AC does not work, coolant leak, and a boost leak. So we've got a couple things going on with this truck right here. Let us check the mileage. You can see I've had the scan tool in here. I was checking balance rates earlier. Where's my mileage at? I'll hit the button here. We've got approximately, come on, oh, 380,000, no way, there it is. Over a 250,000 miles on this unit. 382,161 miles on the odometer. Definitely got some time in this bad boy. Clearly, it's a work truck. It's got the service body on the back. We've got a trailer brake controller. This thing is obviously on the road quite a bit, and we need to get it back up to comfortable operating condition. So I guess I'm gonna start diagging the AC as we speak. What I'm gonna do, we have no compressor actuation. See that? AC compressor's not running and the AC is switched on. So first I wanna verify the charge level. I'm gonna go ahead and recover, no, not charge, wrong one. I'm gonna go ahead and recover everything inside of the system. The machine is gonna weigh it out, and then we can compare what we pulled out with what is actually in the system. I know it's winter time and everybody's cold, so nobody cares about AC, but it's something that's on the list, so we're gonna have to go with that. Connecting the hoses, which I've already done. So while the machine sucks this down, we can take a look at some of the other stuff. Now, one thing that was mentioned was a boost leak. This is the turbocharged diesel V8. It's the LMM DURAMAX. And I'm basically gonna go around and check all the boots on the piping. This is the hot side pipe coming out of the compressor into the intercooler, which is this guy right here. We see we do not have the grill assembled on this unit. We've got the intercooler, the radiator's behind it. Right up here is the AC condenser. And intercooler's looking a little rough. But I'm checking all the piping and the boots to make sure none of that stuff is disconnected. And from what I can see down there, that looks pretty good. Let me go down below, check the pipe. Okay, yeah, that boost pipe's looking good. Kind of not the problem. Massive fluid leak. Look at all that. Fluid. What we've got, there it is. Steering gear right there. Our steering gear is leaking all over the place. Got more oil. And on the front of the steering gear right up here, whole bunch of more fluid dripping out of this unit. Okay. Bro. They also complained of a coolant leak. We found the coolant leak pretty quickly. It looks like it's running out of the lower radiator hose right here. See that guy? That's our coolant leak. And I hear some clack and clack ticky tick noises. I'm wondering if this is where the exhaust leak is on this side. Try to feel it. There it is. Okay, there's a hole in the manifold. So we need to put an exhaust manifold on this unit. Found the boost leak. Anyway, back to this coolant business. This lower radiator hose has several components coming out of it. You saw the big hose coming out of the radiator. It connects to the water pump down below, right down there behind the fan. And there's a couple other circuits on that lower hose that branch off and go into other places, including the heater core. So that's actually a fairly large conglomeration of a hose, very labor intensive to replace that unit. Alrighty, let's go shut this thing down. Too much noise. That exhaust leak's killer over there. So we got a hole in an exhaust manifold. I imagine that somebody drilled that hole to try to install an EGT temperature probe inside of there, and they didn't tap it, or they gave up on it and the thing came out or something like that. Regardless, we're gonna have to put a manifold on it. I'll need to replace that lower radiator hose. I want to err on the side of caution. 0.163 pounds refrigerant, yeah. I want to err on the side of caution with that hose connection down there. There's a chance that the output nozzle from the radiator, which would be the plastic piece that sticks out, that thing might be broken. It's a proprietary hose and it only fits this truck, but I believe there might be a chance that the radiator could be broken at that connection. Most likely it's just the hose and the seal inside of it, but I am going to caution that we may have to put a radiator in this as well. I'll know more once I take the thing apart, but I gotta get approval to do that because I don't want to take it apart and spill out all the coolant and then have to put coolant back in there if the repairs decline. So I'm gonna assume it's the hose that's the problem and not the radiator, but you never know until you take things apart. Again, we'll have to put a manifold on it. The cheaper alternative is I can go in there with a welder and try to weld that hole up. It's possible to do. It might crack in the future, but it's cheaper than replacing a manifold. Again, these things are not cheap. Additionally, we have a rusted bolt breaking off risk going on here. So if I go to take these bolts out of the cylinder head to remove this manifold and then they break off in the head, I've got to weld them out or weld nuts to them and try to work the things out. So there's actually a very large amount of risk right there. Again, a situation that's going to be up to the owner. It's their call. I can try to weld it and it'll stop leaking so much, or we can just put a manifold on it and kind of go with that. We just saw that the AC was very low on charge. So preliminarily what I'm going to do is just add a charge to this and make sure that the system is operating. And if I can get the compressor to come on, then we know we just have a slow leak somewhere. Chances are it could be this condenser. There's been a lot of rocks running into this unit, and I would recommend that we replace the AC condenser. Maybe we can get the factory grill assembly and stick that on there too, because we're tearing up the intercooler also. It's pretty bad. But let's charge it up and make sure it functions first, and then we'll go from there. So I'm gonna put in offhand maybe 1.6 pounds. That's what my DURAMAX runs, so I can assume that this one is pretty close to that. So let's go 0.16 pounds refrigerant on the high side. I may have to pull this back down again later on, but again, we're just trying to determine if it's going to work or not. Refrigerant is going in. I can hear it. Pressures are coming up, good. Got 0.8 pounds refrigerant already installed. Give it a little bit more time and then we'll fire this unit back up and see what she's gonna do. Oh, you know what, real quick, there is one more thing that I noticed when I was checking out this fluid leak down here at the steering gear. You see all this fluid saturation? Look at what it's done to the bushing in this control arm right here. See that? The bushing right there is falling apart. See that guy? Yeah, rubber bushings and petroleum products do not mix well together. So additionally, I would recommend that we replace these lower control arms. This one's the worst one, but the one over there on the other side also does have some front bushing squishy action going on. So I would recommend replacing both of those fronts, as well as the source of the failure, which is this leaking steering gear right here. So I believe 1.5 pounds, yeah, that's enough to get the thing to turn on. Let's go and fire up the truck, turn the AC on, and see if that compressor is going to come alive or not. Beginning engine starting sequence. And the battery sounded low. That was a slow crank. There we go. Compressor's running to the clutch. And side. Come on up. Yeah. See the needle bouncing? Yeah, we're at about 165 psi. 24, 25 psi on the low side. Yeah, we are making cold. Keep in mind, it's not a hot day today. We're at 69 degrees on the Fahrenheit scale. I love that it turned 69 right when I said 69. And for you metric types, that's 20.556 degrees Celsius. And I do feel some cold air right here. So the AC system is functioning. Let's go check those pressures again. Yeah, that fell down pretty hard. Yeah, I guess we're all right. It's probably got a fairly decently weak compressor in the unit, but I'm really not going to fret over that right now. We've got some other more pressing issues to worry about here. Let's throw a thermometer in this unit and just see what our center vent temp is. I'll be back for this in a second. Okay, so we're down to 39 degrees in the Fahrenheit scale. That's 3.889 degrees for you metric types. It seems to be performing well at the current ambient temperature, but I do believe on a hot floor today, this system's gonna underperform. But again, there are more pressing matters that this truck needs to have attention paid to at the current point in time. So what I need to do is go locate the parts that I think are gonna be required, build the estimate, call my guy and let him know what we need to do with this, and then go from there. So again, this is a short diag video just to document everything that we found. Let me know what you think about this video and about this situation in the comment section down below. I'm gonna go ahead and close this one out right now. Told you it was gonna be short. And if I get any approvals to move forward with this one, I'll be sure to make a video on the primary channel. Again, you have found your way to my secondary off-duty channel, where I like to do things like this, or I'm gonna start to try to do things like this on the second channel. And I know it's labeled off-duty, and I realize I'm at work right now, but it could be a good tool to communicate to vehicle owners if I were to make a not traditional type of video, just to go through everything and see what we have to work with here. So again, please let me know what you think about this vehicle in the comment section down below. Do not forget to tap that like button while you're down there, and most importantly, have yourselves a great day. See you guys later in a video, in a GMC, end of diag / inspection, powering down, end of transmission.